Alright, I'm making pepper steak and onions and peppers and rice tonight, and I'm starting out with a nice piece of London broil. I have a really nice sharp knife. If you want to make your life easier, you gotta have a nice sharp knife when you're cutting meat. I'm just slicing this not real thick, not real thin slices. Okay, it's gonna stew. London broil is a little tough, but when you stew it for a while, it falls apart. It's really good. It's a really good meat to work with when you're making, like when you're stewing it with gravy, because this is going to be like a gravy type based dish because it's pepper steak and onions and peppers on top of rice with the brown gravy. It's really tasty. I also use London broil because it goes on sale pretty often, but I also use it for beef stew. It makes a really good beef stew. It makes a really good beef vegetable soup homemade. But I've been using this for a long time. I used to use, they would like have pre-packaged kind of pepper steak meat sliced up, and it was pretty expensive. And now I do it this way. It takes me a little bit of extra time, but it's cheaper. I really love when it goes on sale for $1.99 a pound. That's not always the case, but you can get it pretty cheap. I think this one was like, well, I can tell you what this was. I got this at Sam's Club. Sam's Club. It was, and I got it at Sam's Club because you can get more for your money. This is $5.58 a pound. So it was expensive this time, but I needed it right now. So I wasn't waiting for a sale. I'm making this special for somebody. So what you do first is you slice down your meat, and like I said, this can take the longest time, especially if you're not used to working with a knife, and just watch your fingers. Keep them behind the knife at all times, and whichever hand you are, right-handed or left-handed. With the right hand, I'm right-handed, so as I'm cutting this, I'm pressing down and sawing, but my left hand is actually pressing down firmly on the meat to keep it in place, and that really shortens the time of cutting when you have your two hands assisting your cutting. So as long as you keep it behind the knife, you should be okay. It gets a little tough at the very end. If you're really afraid, you can get out your scissors, your shears, your kitchen shears, not your regular craft scissors, but you can get out your scissors that you have for the kitchen, your meat shears or I have kitchen shears. They look like this. This is kitchen shears. You can use these as well when you get to the end. If you're afraid, some people are really afraid of knives. I know my 8-year-old's afraid of knives, and well, I'm glad she is. She's not allowed to use them right now anyway, but my 16-year-old is very afraid of knives as well. So as long as you pay attention to your knife, keep your hand far enough away, and do, improvise when you're really afraid, when it gets too close to your fingers. If you improvise and use like the kitchen shears or something, that should help you not get hurt and also not be afraid to do this. Like I said, you can buy it in the store already sliced, but you usually get more for your money. I mean, this is an awful lot of steak. I know it was $5.58 a pound, and it's also a pretty good cut too. So like I said, I do love to get it on sale. Who doesn't? But when you're in a pinch, this meat is pretty reasonable, and it's tasty, and it stews really well for pepper steak.